Yeah, the team for this weekend versus Scotland, from fullback down, Rob Carney, Keith Earls on the wing, Garry Ringrose and Bundy Arkey in the midfield, Jacob Stockdale on the other wing, Johnny Sexton and Conor Murray, and the forward pack, CJ Standard, Dan Levy and Pete O'Mahony in the loose forwards, Devon Toner and James Ryan in the second row, and in the front row, Tyg Furlong, Rory Best captain and Ken Healy. As loose head prop, on the bench, the following: Sean Cronin, Jack McGrath, Andrew Porter, Ian Henderson, Geordie Murphy, Kieran Mami and Joey Carberry, and Jordan Lama.
Was there much in the selection between Henderson and Toner?
No, or James Ryan.
Or James Ryan,
yeah. I think the three of them have done really well for us in the championship so far. And I think that it was probably just a case of trying to keep some continuity with what we'd done in the last game 2 weeks ago and into this game against Scotland.
Was there much disappointment with names gone? Never mind. Sorry.
Same thing happens to me.
Joe, Ian Henderson fully fit, just benches this selection.
Fully fit, absolutely. As I said over the last couple of weeks, Ian possibly could have played against Wales, but it would have been a risk. There is absolutely no risk of him re-injuring himself. So it's just a case of trying to keep a balance. It also, potentially adds a bit to our last kind of 30 minutes, 20 minutes of the game, where an athlete like Ian can come on. You've got guys like Andrew Porter, who's done very well for us starting, and obviously 77 minutes against Italy. Jack McGrath had a cracking first 50 minutes against Italy. So we're hoping that those guys can bring some real energy into that last quarter.
We can't help but notice Sean O'Brien's been picked by Leinster again, so he's good to go. So does he come into your thought process? I know there's nothing to do with the weekend.
Yeah, of course it does, and I'll be watching, and I'll be watching how he leads the side, because he tends to lead himself pretty well once he's on the pitch. So that's of interest to us without a doubt. And on Friday evening, if I don't see the game live with the 20s on at a similar time, I'll certainly record it and have a look at it later in the evening.
Joe, in relation to stopping this Scotland side, particularly out wide and in broken play, how do you go about doing that?
I think you want to make sure you're tidy in your own department in the first place. I think once you do allow them loose ball, once you do allow them time and space, I think they are incredibly dangerous. We know who and how they manage to do what they do. I think they transfer the ball really well through their midfield, as well as Finn Russell. A lot of people focused on Finn Russell. I think Peter Horn is a really good distributor, and it's no surprise to see him potentially keep out Alex Dunbar, who's been a super player for them. So their ability to transfer the ball is very good. And then when you get it to the edges, with the likes of Hogg chiming in there, he is such a threat. Sean Maitland, obviously, a lot of Super Rugby. It's a kind of Super Rugby style that they play, and that makes him very potent on the counter-attack, very potent attacking from loose ball, and very, very, I suppose, dangerous in those wider channels, especially when you get the likes of John Barclay and McAnally playing in those wide channels. I think they're both very good ball players, and it adds to the firepower that they have through the midfield, obviously, with Hugh Jones and then into those back three.
Just on Barclay, if you stop Barclay and stop turning the ball over, do you go a long way to stopping Scotland?
Yeah, to a degree. I think there's a lot more to Scotland than that. I don't think John Barclay got too many balls off us last year, but we didn't stop us being down 21 points to 8 at half time, and 21 points to 5 just prior to half time. So, there's a fair bit more to it than that. I think Hamish Watson is another real threat over the ball as well. Stuart McAnally is formerly a loose forward, as is Fraser Brown. So either of their hookers are very good over the ball as well. I think it would be too simplistic to say stop John Barclay and that will have a major impact. It would certainly always be part of the equation because he's a super player.
Can we expect more of the same that we saw against Wales? A very direct runners, a very direct kind of almost bully them up front first?
Yeah, it's ironic you say that, because I'd probably challenge people to do a little bit more homework and probably not follow the lead of someone who statistically doesn't balance up with what's said. I think there was some really good tight play and some stuff that went through the middle. But there was some stuff down the edges as well. Keith Earl's line break, Johnny's line break, Jacob Stockdale in the corner. Certainly that wasn't a one-plus play. It's two of the best passes you'd see in world rugby. So, I think we've got to keep that variety to our game. I think at this stage we've probably made the third most offloads. It's an area where people have loved to beat us with a stick. And it's probably overlooked by people that there is some continuity through our play. So, those sorts of things should allow us the variety to try to keep a balance in what we're doing to attack them. And then obviously defensively we're going to link up. We're going to have to link up really well.
Joe, obviously Garry Ringrose has just got the one club game under his belt since he comes back in. Any concerns about whether or not he'll be able to last 80 minutes? Yeah,
there's always concerns about players for different reasons, and I think Gary's only had 6 games in this entire season. So, that's something that you calculate in. At the same time, sometimes you don't have the luxury of a plethora of options. I think Garry Ringrose has been extraordinary when he has played for us. He's done an incredible job. The last time he did play for us in Japan, he was absolutely outstanding in the back line along with Keith Earls. They were two of the real standouts for us. So we're hoping he can hit the ground running and get straight back into that form. He's a smart player. Hopefully that allows him to kind of keep a balance between when he has to work hard and when he can just regenerate a little bit on the pitch, and that will allow him to extend his match minutes to 80 quality minutes for us.
Is it a concern though that, once again you're having to replace a player who's such a key position in the defensive line, it's the third time in the championship? Yeah,
of course it is, especially when Robbie Henshaw is world class and Chris Farrell slotted in so well last time. As I said, it's a needs must situation, but it's a situation where we've got a lot of trust and a lot of faith in Garry, and we're hopeful that the wingers help him out a little bit because they link well with him, and Bundy will be working hard to make sure that happens as well. He's been the continuity for us in the midfield so far in the championship.
Rob, with 2 rounds to go, obviously momentum right behind you. How is the group feeling with kind of obviously Scotland approaching and just the overall aim of winning that Grand Slam?
Yeah, I think there's a combination of a few things. We're really excited to get back out in the field and get going again. But there's nerves and a little bit of worry about the threat that Scotland bring. And certainly we've reviewed quite a bit of what happened over there last year, and the manner of those first 20 minutes, the damage that they did to us. So, we're very excited, but we're firmly focused on the first 20 minutes of the game and making sure that, we put our stamp on the game as opposed to having to chase it.
How easy a fix is that? Can you shore that up?
Yeah, we tried to take a huge amount of learnings from it last year, and certainly as the competition progressed last year, we felt we got a little bit better. It's been a big area of our training this week, making sure our systems are in place and we're smart on how we defend. So it's been certainly up there, prioritised in terms of our training this week. The manner, it's up to us now to produce it on Saturday.
So about 1 or 2 kicks in the game.
How's Garry just from training this week?
Yeah, he's been really good. As Joe said, he was extraordinary when he played last year. He's a smart guy. He's trained really well this week, which it's important for him, but it's important for the players around. That he's brought a huge amount of confidence for himself, but also us too. So, certainly from the other 14 guys, there's absolutely no worry, and we're really excited to see him get back in the green jersey.
Joe, to miss 1 or 2 kicks is going to be put down to just a bit of bad luck. To miss 10 points is a bit concerning. How confident are you that Johnny Sexton and the work that he's done over the past 2 weeks, that he'll be able to bounce back from that, given that he also picked up a knock in the game against Wales?
Super confident. I think he's a world-class kicker. I would have no kind of hesitation in Johnny making any decision about any kick he's going to have. I think he actually struck 3 out of those 4 kicks quite well. Even the one that came off the post, I think there was a bit of breeze and maybe he over-allowed for it. But the actual the strike was spot on. The ball flight was very much what he's looking for. So I don't think he was a million miles away. You know, Lee Halfpenny kicked superbly, but I'd watched him kick, and I think he missed 3 for too long a few weeks previous to that, where they were all in the fairly narrow V that you normally say, well, that's 3 points or that's 2 points straight away for Lee Halfpenny. That can happen on any given day, but the real class kickers like Lee Halfpenny, like Johnny Sexton, that happens once in a blue moon, and you don't get blue moons all the time, thankfully. You do get snow in March, but you don't get it often, you know.
He compensated though, didn't he, by trying to become a flanker in the game?
Yeah, I thought he's quite tall, Johnny. I thought it was a mix, second row, even a bit further forward. He certainly picked and went in that right-hand corner with a bit of gusto, and he still ran the game really well. I think, it's an aspect of his game, but there are a number of aspects in his game that are generally positive for us.
Joe, Coach Harbury was saying last week he'd like to play at centre at some point, maybe even at 12. Given the circumstances and the fact you're a bit stretched in midfield at the moment, if it happened on Saturday, would you have any hesitation putting him in at centre?
No, probably. Our cover is a mix with Jordan Lama being able to play 13, Keith Earls being able to shift in at 13, but Joey maybe at 12, or Garry Ringrose shifting into 12 if Bundy went out and one of those other 2 13 options moving in. So that would be the matrix at the moment, and inevitably you do a bit of planning around that. Players are aware of what their responsibilities are should they have to move into one of those positions. But then it's kind of how the match is going, what you feel you need most, and then you make a decision. So, hopefully that becomes potentially a tactical decision we make, not an injury-induced one, because we've finished our centre injuries for the year.
Hey, hope you enjoyed that latest offering from Off the Ball. If you want to subscribe, and you should, check out just up here. All our latest stuff is just down here. Generally, knock yourself out.